Welcome to today's video. Today I'm sharing 3 budget-friendly meals. Each meal lasts us 2 nights. 2 nights and then sometimes like an additional like lunch. So I hope you like this video. I will leave the grocery list in the description box below, and at the end of the video I will let you know like what I usually spend on the grocery list. I usually get ingredients for dinner from Walmart most of the time. So yeah. Okay, so for today's dinner, I'm making breakfast for dinner. I was gonna make something else, but you'll still see that later on in the video. But I realized the turkey I took out was super old, even though it was in the freezer. So I took out fresh turkey to thaw for tomorrow's dinner. And so tonight I'm making this. It's gonna be breakfast for dinner. I don't know if I already said that. I probably already did. But I'm gonna make these potatoes, which you just fry up in oil on the stove in that pan. And then, no, I don't need a smaller pan. And then I need to thaw this in the microwave, and then I'm gonna fry that up on our other, we have like a griddle thing. I'm gonna fry this up on there and make like a pancake bacon casserole that I saw online. So we'll see how that goes. I think it should be good. But that's what I'm making for dinner tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna make eggs. I might. I have to see if Nathaniel wants eggs. But then, pretty simple. This whole dinner probably costs, I'll have to look it up, but it's gotta be only like, it depends on what you have in your cabinet already, but this is mostly stuff we usually already have. So, you can make this dinner pretty cheap. So I forgot to take my bacon out of the freezer to let it thaw, so I'm thawing it in the microwave, and while I do that, I'm going to mix up the pancake mix. Usually I just buy the Great Value brand complete pancake mix. It's $1.58, and all you have to do is add water, but we didn't have that, so I'm using a pancake mix that takes like oil, eggs, I think it took milk, just a few other things. And then while I'm cracking the egg for the pancake mix, I'm also gonna crack the eggs for scrambled eggs. I ended up only using 3 eggs. Usually I'll do 4, but I had 4 left in the container of eggs, and I needed 1 for the pancake mix, so I just did 3 just to make it easy. And then I'm also going to stir maple syrup straight into the pancake mix for the casserole to give it a maple flavor. And then you can also, when you're eating it, pour more on top. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high. Once I'm done mixing the pancake mix, I'm just going to get a square cake pan, and I'm going to spray oil in that, and then I pour the pancake mix in, and then once I'm done cooking up the bacon, I'm going to crumble it up, put it on top, and then I'll cook the casserole. I can't remember exactly what I cooked it at. I think it was either 400 or 425 for about 20 minutes, but it's easy to check it and see if it's cooked. So I just can't remember which temperature it was, but it's pancakes, so it should cook either way. You can say I lost my mind. I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down. Once the casserole is in the oven, I'm going to move on to The other stuff, I'm going to just scramble up my eggs and then make my hash browns. I made the hash browns wrong. You're supposed to let the oil preheat before you add the potatoes in, but I didn't do that, so they ended up taking an extremely long time to cook, and they were really greasy and didn't turn out as great as I wanted them to, but that's okay because when I make this dinner again, I will make them the right way. But while the pancakes are cooking, I'm just gonna finish up the rest of the breakfast. I'll add some shredded cheese into our scrambled eggs, and then that's it. And when I make scrambled eggs, I just do eggs and salt and pepper and then sprinkle in a little bit of cheese. I don't add milk. I don't really add anything else. Sometimes I'll put everything but the bagel seasoning in my eggs if Nathaniel's not eating them. But I like to make them simple because I don't want like the extra added calories that you get when you add milk into your eggs. Finished dinner. I definitely did not make the potatoes the way they're supposed to be, but I think they're gonna be okay-ish. The pancake casserole looks like this when it's done. I just put a little bit of syrup over it, and then I just have a tiny bit of eggs. Yeah, this is enough this is at least enough for 2 dinners. I'll have to make fresh eggs tomorrow, and then I'll also make the potatoes fresh just because there wasn't. Luckily, I didn't use the whole bag because now I can hopefully make them the right way tomorrow. But that is breakfast for dinner. All right, so tonight's dinner, I call it turkey mix. I guess it's like, I don't know, it's just a random turkey dinner, and it takes stuff that you usually have already, and so that's how I like came up with this recipe. But what I do is I take a pound of ground turkey and I'll brown it, and then I'll throw in some taco seasoning. This is just the one we have. We usually use this like normal taco seasoning big container from Sam's Club, but we have this in our cabinet, so I'm just going to use it up. It's a hot taco seasoning, so I'm assuming that's going to be spicy. So I'll make basically make taco meat, and then I'll drain and rinse a can of black beans and a can of corn and toss that in the pan. So it's all made in one pan. So I'll throw those in there, a cup of salsa, a cup of brown rice, and then sprinkle in some cheese, and you mix it all up, and that's pretty much it. Usually we don't have any because stores were like out of this when I was buying the rice a while ago, but I'll usually use 2 of these minute brown rice cups because you can just toss them in the microwave. But since we have like 1 jasmine rice one. Since we don't have that, I had bought these boil and bag rice things, so I'm gonna figure out how to use that. And then I'm actually not using this corn. I had made corn for dinner last night, so I'm gonna use what's left in the container because Nathaniel doesn't really like corn. He'll eat it in this recipe, but other than that, he doesn't. He's not a huge fan of corn, so I'm gonna use what's left from last night because it's pretty much a whole can of it. So yeah, all you do is brown the meat first and then toss everything else in this pan, and that's it. Super simple, pretty cheap because usually you have cheese at home and all this other stuff is really inexpensive. The most expensive thing would be like the turkey meat. And like I said, I'll leave like a grocery list for these 3 meals, and like my total price, like if I was buying all the stuff at Walmart. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. So like I said before, literally all I'm doing is boiling rice, browning turkey meat, and then adding everything to one single pan and mixing it all up. Super simple, super easy, super fast. The longest thing is browning the turkey meat and boiling the rice. And even that didn't take very long, especially if you're able to get the minute brown rice cups. If you get the cups, it takes 2 minutes to microwave them. You do 1 minute for each cup, and then that's it. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. Alright, so I stirred in the brown rice and now it's all done. This will last us 2 dinners And I think usually there's a little bit left for like maybe a lunch, depending on how big of a bowl we have for dinner. But yeah, it'll last us 2 nights, and it's really good. All right, so this last meal I'm sharing is a garlic pasta. I'm not gonna like show me cooking it for this one just because you don't need to watch me boil pasta. I'll show you how to make the sauce, but you don't need to see that part. So I have my water boiling before I add the pasta in, but I'm just using this veggie rotini. I will cook that, and then for like the sauce, I'm gonna do a little bit of olive oil, a spoonful of this butter, some garlic, some salt and pepper, and then I'll just cook that up in this pan right here, and then drain the pasta, put the sauce on, and then I usually mix in a little bit of either Parmesan like this, like grated Parmesan, or right now we have like fresh mozzarella and Parmesan, so I'll put a little bit of that in my bowl. And then the other thing that I mix in is, I have to try to find it. We have mixed veggies somewhere. I'll pull them out and then I'll show you. But I'll make like some mixed veggies, and then I'll put that in my bowl. I'll show you that. Nathaniel will eat his on the side, but I'll like mix it in with my pasta, and it's really good. So I'm gonna wait for that to boil, and then I'll start the sauce in a minute. All right, so this is what we have left for our mixed veggies. Usually I get the steamable bags, and I'll steam like one bag. One bag is usually enough, or maybe I do 1 bag a night. I don't know, I can't remember. Because this dinner will last us 2 nights, so I always make veggies with it. I can't remember how big the bag is and if it lasts both nights, but basically I usually get the steam bag to make it easier. They're like $1 at Walmart. They're definitely smaller than this. This is a 2-pound bag, so I've got to figure out how to cook it in the microwave. So I'm gonna go figure this out, but I will mix that into my bowl later on. So for the pasta sauce, I'm just eyeballing it. I'm pouring in some olive oil, putting in a big spoonful of butter, and then you'll see I put in a ton of garlic. The sauce doesn't really like stick to the pasta. It kind of ends up being at the bottom of the pan, so it's fine to add that much garlic. It's not going to be overwhelming. I just think it gives the sauce better flavor to add more. And you're not going to be eating giant chunks of garlic when you make it, so that's why I put so much. And a little bit of sauce goes a long way. It's not like red sauce where you put like, I feel like I put more red sauce or Alfredo sauce to cover my pasta, but this, because it's an oil, it doesn't need to be like a lot for a whole pound of pasta. I don't put very much in there. Screaming out your name, take me to a different place. Just the 2 of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under street lights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Alright, so my veggies are done cooking, and then the pasta's done. I just poured the sauce into the pot and then mixed it all in. Nathaniel eats his plain like that, and then, like I said, I mixed about 2 big scoops of veggies into my pasta and put a little bit of this fresh cheese on it, and then I eat mine like that. But it's super simple. I mean, I loaded up with veggies like this. I mean, they're probably not the greatest, but it's what we can get right now on a budget. I'm sure fresh stuff is better, but and I know carrots and corn don't really count, but there's peas in there, green beans. But I really like it like this, so that's this pasta meal. It's super, super easy and cheap to make, so that's why it's one of my favorites, because we usually have everything on hand for it pretty much all the time. So like I said, I will leave the whole grocery list down below, and these meals should last about a week. It depends on how much like you eat in a serving. You could probably stretch the turkey dinner another night if you maybe eat some veggies on the side. So you can have like a full week of meals. So the full week of dinners, the price, oh, I forgot to look up mixed veggies too, how much those cost. If you want to include mixed veggies in with the pasta, The whole meal plan for these dinners costs about like between $35 and $40 depending on the brands. I usually just go with Great Value brand if I'm shopping at Walmart, or store brand wherever I'm at, because it honestly doesn't make a huge difference. And if you're on a budget, it's obviously better to just do store brand. But yeah, that's it for my budget, easy to make meals. And like I said, like a lot of this stuff too, the ingredients, some of them are like staples you normally like have in your house too, so the cost would be even less if you have things like canola oil, olive oil, butter, things like that in your house regularly, eggs. If you keep that kind of stuff, or like rice, black beans, corn, if you keep that kind of stuff stocked up in your pantry or in your fridge, then to make these dinners would be even less. We keep stuff like that stocked up usually because we go to Sam's Club, so we'll just buy stuff like that every so often. Like we even have that giant thing of taco seasoning, so that's like gonna last us forever. And we also buy our ground turkey at Sam's Club usually, so that's another way we kind of save money, is we'll buy a big thing of ground turkey, and that'll last us maybe 5 or 6 dinners, and we only have to buy it every few months. Instead of spending $5 on 1 pound of turkey, we spend like, I don't know, $12 or $13 on about 5 pounds of turkey. You can see Riley sleeping in her crib in the background. Yeah, anyway, I hope you like this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and then subscribe to my channel to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye.